Okay, so when we last left here, as far as I remember, because it was 2 weeks ago, actually it's like 3 weeks ago now, we had finished filing down the blade to get to the point where we could actually have a guard start getting fitted to it. So we forged the rough shape of the guard. Now let me get the picture. So this is what Mehrunes' razor looks like, and this is what our guard currently looks like. This is to scale. This is what the size of the dagger is actually going to be. So what we have to do today, I believe, if I remember the order of operations correctly, because I haven't edited the video before this one yet, it was going to be to get the ends here, like, split out to form those two spiky bits. No! These spiky bits here and here. So I can just have those out. And then I believe at that point it was going to be down to grinding it to like a flat shape. Actually, flatten it first, get those things in. I think that was it. I'm going to turn the forge on, hit it with the flatting hammer, get it nice and flat, because you can see it is not flat. It's kind of bumpy. Get those pointy bits on the end, and then grind it to shape. And then we're going to use a Dremel and a carbide burr. Sadly, I know I don't do a lot of hammering when I do detail work, but it's detail work for a reason. We're going to Dremel in all of these lines and kind of step it down each time. So we'll be doing a bit of things here and there. This isn't the final plan. I apologize. This was the first thing you're seeing is like, oh my God, I don't want to watch that. It's not the final plan. I change things on the fly. It'll literally be shot for shot for shot of what I'm doing. Someone's here. I'll be right back. It's pretty flat now. I'm sorry I've been bouncing in between people and stuff. You don't know what I've been doing, but that's what I've been doing. Anyways, it's getting pretty flat. You can kind of see it nice and flat. So, thinking now on my process, because I don't remember what I said in the last video, because that was almost 3 weeks ago now. What should I do? It's flat, and we need to make it match certain aspects. So, I can't use the table because it's actively covered in crap right now. But, so it's got all this on it. What should be the next thing I do? I think what I need to do is flatten this part here out. Take a grinder to it, flatten that part out. And then, oh, you know what I should do? I should probably punch a hole in this thing, shouldn't I? To fit the tang. That's what I should do. Because that, even if that gets warped, I can still file that to shape afterwards. So I think that's what I need to do. So flatten it, and now I got to punch a hole in it. So what I need, give me 1 second. If we take the actual dagger, it sits at, let's see if we can't get the measurements here properly. Flip me around. So the actual like bit here sits at, oh, let's go to the tallest point here. Was that 11, let's say 12 millimeters by 6. So we need a 12 by 6 bit to punch through this. This piece I made a couple of weeks ago. I think it's 8. So that's a little thin for what we need. No matter what, it's a little thin. I could, in theory, file down here and here to match this, which is an option. What I might do first is if I punch the 8, it's only 3 more millimeters to proper width. So I might just punch it and then file it later. So I think we're going to do that. But here's where it gets weird. In order to punch the hole in this, we need to have it up and down as such. So holding it like this while you push it like this is going to be a real pain in the ass. So what I might do is quickly grind a flat spot using the belty over there. I might grind the flat spot here so I can actually put it down and have it be stable-ish. And then I'll do the same thing on the top here, so I have something solid to hit into. We also need to find the center point of this. So what I might do is I might do the flat spot here, and then grind this into general shape, and then find the middle point and hammer this home. I think that's what we're gonna do now. We're going to go basically from tip to tip, which is looking at 14 centimeters. Right there, 7, right about there. That's about our middle point. So that's roughly the middle of the guard, which is good. So we need to do here, right along that line. Just do a quick mark. And there's a very... Let's see if I can focus. There you go. There's a mark right there, right in the middle of it. So we'll take our Sharpie and just mark right about here. That's basically the middle of the guard. So now comes the fun part. Now we got to put it back in the forge and then hammer down into this. Now, I need to hold this steady as I do this. This is probably my least favorite part about making guards, is punching a hole. Everyone will say just drill it. Just put a bit in, drill the hole. Honestly, I would love to do that, but I need to get better at punching. It's something I'm not really good at. So I have got to find a way to hold this stable up and down while I punch a hole into it without holding it like this. Like if I put it in the vise, I'm going to hold it like this in the middle, and that's not going to give me enough stability. It will give me stability to hit it, but it won't allow the metal to form outwards, which is going to happen anyway. So we need to figure out how to do that. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So this is roughly what I've come up with. The problem with this is going to be both of these are going to absorb the heat from the metal really quickly. But it will allow me to hit it without it like wiggling too much. So it gives us that freedom to still maneuver, but also stability that I can hit it. So I've got to basically like slide this into here, push that in, hit it, move on. This should hold it up and down straight enough that I can do this properly. Or do I just drill it? Honestly, I want to sell this piece. I don't want it to be terribly fucked up. So my brain is thinking drill. What I need then is we need a drill bit that matches the thinness, because I will file it thicker of this. So on this axis, I've been making gains recently, so I think on axis is a lot now. We are looking at, looks like at the most, let's just do it sideways, 5.37 millimeters. So we need to find something 5.37 millimeters or a little bit smaller. That came out so much better than if I had punched it. Like you can see straight through it now. Like, look at that. That is awesome. Where are you? There you are. That's great. And that is dead center, straight through, no deviation. That is absolutely perfect. Now, this allows me to file the rest of it into shape, or if I want to, I could punch it now, because now I have like a starting point. But that's fine. I have a starting point to do the rest of the detail to fit the tang afterwards. Actually, right now, let me just play with it. I always get energized after something successful, so it doesn't quite fit the tang as of yet, but that's fantastic. I am utterly thrilled with that. So I think what we need to do now is I think we need to spend some time grinding this into shape before we do the end bits. So we need to like equal out and like even out the sides here, which I think this side is going to be the one we start with. This will be the primary like design side of it all. Like this will be the one we're going to go to. We take this one to match this side. So what I need to do now is measure how big this is versus how big this is and start working on getting it all flattened out with a grinder. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I have kind of, not finessely and nicely found it, but I arbitrarily kind of marked on each side where I think the cut should be. Because the top is the continuation of this curve, and the bottom just kind of goes down. So we need more material on the top, I think, to make this work properly. I might just do it in the middle anyways, just to do it properly. Actually, not. Just take those off, and I'll just do it in the middle. Very, very roughly, I'm going to mark it, there-ish. I don't know if you saw that. And then this one, there-ish. That's the idea. I might start these cuts with a grinder, just to kind of get a little divot in, and then come in with a tool to actually force those apart. Now again, actually no, not again. I was gonna say now again we're coming into the situation where I can't really do it on the anvil here, but I can do it in the vise this time because we're not gonna be holding it like here, we're gonna be holding it here. So we can actually force these out without any issues. So I'm gonna heat it up in the forge, throw it in the vise, hammer into this. That's the idea. All right, sorry about this. Usually I have the forge off when I'm talking, but I have to have it on right now for another video I'm working on. So, this is where we are with the guard. It's kind of looking near-ish to what it's kind of supposed to look like, which is good. This spike down here is getting kind of funky. I have to stop at this point to take it home and think over how to either fix this or adjust it or do something to it because it's kind of funky and I don't like it. So we're going to call it for Mehrunes Razor today. We got a lot of work done, got a lot of forging done, so we're happy with that. I'm going to finish off that part of the video working on, and then I'm going to go home. So yeah, I thought you guys should see where we're going to sit. Let me grab the actual dagger. So it's still very rough, but it's starting to look kind of like it's supposed to. Trust the process, it'll look good at the end. Trust me. Trust me. We can get this done.